Who would have thought it? This time 2 years ago, we were just getting some rumblings about a potential issue with a mysterious new disease. A couple months after that, drastic actions were being taken, but with the general idea that we'd hopefully be through the worst of it in a fairly short period of time. Now we're finishing up year 2, and many of us are still adjusting. The consumer tech trends over the course of the pandemic have been fascinating to follow. Here's how my family handled some of our work and play. How did your tech habits change? And of course, we hope you'll follow all the work here on reviews.org. Hit those subscribe buttons down below to keep up with the channel, and stay tuned for our future live streams. And we've got some contests coming up too. When it comes to consumer electronics, the main bummer of the pandemic has been the supply and distribution issues. If it's game consoles, computer components, or even just lifestyle accessories, there's an ebb and flow to retail, which has struggled to keep up with consumer demand. The worst trend of consumer tech has definitely been the scalper mentality. People who gobble up and sit on stockpiles just to inflate prices for their own benefit. It seems the market can't really deal with those kinds of interlopers, and there's growing momentum for lawmakers and regulators to get involved. We might need to make a whole separate video about those regulatory efforts soon. The telecom space has also been kind of interesting to follow, as we've seen a number of government-led initiatives to try and help improve connectivity for underserved communities. But in general, with higher demand on home services, I don't think we've seen much shift in plans or performance. My cable broadband is about the same now as it was before the pandemic, so I guess we could call that a victory that our infrastructure didn't completely tank. For my own family, I'm in the extremely privileged position of being a tech reviewer. The pandemic has been a scary and stressful time, but that aspect of my job meant we had a unique opportunity to test drive some different solutions, and I got a little more insight into what all of these gadgets can really do. I think everyone is leaning on their electronics a little harder these days. So I'm gonna share some of my family's journey, and I hope others will share some of their experiences in the comments down below. A lot of people still have issues adapting to some of these changing conditions. There's a lot of uncertainty in business solutions and work from home initiatives, and we still need to look after each other, both in person or remotely. In our house, I think my wife got it the worst. Her job quickly adopted work from home, but at the beginning of the lockdowns, we didn't make any aggressive changes to set her up with a good workspace. Her company issued her a laptop. We set up our tiny little dining room table as her office desk. We didn't even get her a comfy chair. And she worked like that with ever increasing ergonomic back and arm pain for over a month. When it became more clear that she wasn't going back into the office for the foreseeable future, we picked up a cheap desk. We did get her a much better office chair, and then we set her up with one of the most useful gadgets in my tech arsenal. We set her up with a portable monitor. I cannot praise portable screens enough. You really don't know how many issues you can solve with one of these until you have one in your home. If you want a second screen for a computer or a laptop, a larger workspace for a phone or a tablet, quick solution for a gaming console. It's a mini TV if you're not quite into the show your kids are watching. It's a bigger viewfinder for your camera. Many privileged households, ours included, might have a couple of TVs throughout the house, but a decent, inexpensive portable monitor can move anywhere you need it, and it can greatly improve the functionality of the gadgets you already own. The portable display, this one came in clutch. For my daughter, we had to split up time between online and in-person schooling. The demands of early elementary school were easily met using a Chromebook. The more I dig into inexpensive laptop solutions, the more Chrome OS makes sense. Now, in this tech space, especially in the geekiest parts of gadget reviews, we praise compute power and we show off impressive gaming or video rendering benchmarks. But the daily reality of getting work and communication done is largely satisfied with a web browser. A quick tangent, I also just recently showed my nephew the desktop mode on his 3-year-old Android phone. Turns out the 3-year-old phone in his pocket was more powerful than the laptop he was issued for school. I think a lot of consumers were likely in similar situations and didn't realize they could probably have offset the purchase of a new or a second computer with the phones they already had in their pockets. Now, if only there were an inexpensive and easy way to use that phone's power with a larger screen. But I digress. Now, audio tech was also well covered for us because I'm a former voiceover director and audio engineer, so I have way too many microphones and headphones. For my personal use, the mics I've been playing with the most are the Rode Wireless Go 2. Super versatile, they can plug into almost anything. They're handy for both being a discrete microphone and using a lavalier microphone. And I kind of like the little magnets that they use because it's kind of like I can set up the communicators from Star Trek: The Next Generation. Plus, it's just kind of nice not being locked into one position while I'm on a conference call or I'm trying to host a live stream. But my daughter's upgrade was probably the most critical. Most kids' headphones are kind of plasticky junk. Now these were not cheap, but we got her a great pair of Bluetooth cans with excellent active noise reduction, a volume limiting feature, and they're built to a smaller form factor to better fit kids' ears. This is one of the tech investments I'm most proud of over the last 2 years. Rates of hearing loss have been increasing disturbingly for all age groups, especially in teens and young adults. Many people are using headphones more and more throughout their day, and a headphone like this can help teach some healthy hearing habits, while also giving my daughter some autonomy to listen to the music she enjoys. Outside our bubble though, we saw a surge on conference and video calling tech. Thankfully, those kinds of accessories have stabilized, but I never thought we'd see such a crazy run on cheap webcams and gaming headsets. The entire sector got a huge shot in the arm. Camera manufacturers offered ways to turn standalone, fancy, mirrorless cameras into webcams. Inexpensive capture cards came out that could feed from the HDMI ports on a camera, and it really highlighted one of the most annoying weaknesses in laptops that we've just accepted. Most laptop and notebook computer webcams are unmitigated garbage. It's hilarious, but stunning how much better the selfie camera is on a cheap smartphone these days. And I'm happy we're starting to see that trend turn. Laptop manufacturers are starting to beef up that kind of hardware. Across the board though, accessory manufacturers really rose to the occasion. I saw a lot of people taking a back to basics approach to their home technology. Folks weren't going out as much, so many people in my circles of family and friends sat on a phone upgrade for an extra year. People sitting down for more video calls, well, maybe getting a little desk stand or a tripod. Your laptop microphones are kinda garbage, well, maybe we can dig out those old earbuds with the microphone on the cable. Maybe the corner of your room is too dark? Well, we can splurge on a desk lamp or a monitor light. I personally wasn't able to rebuild my main workstation last year like I was hoping to, and I still haven't been able to score a PS5 at MSRP, and I refuse to pay scalper prices. Instead of those big, fun upgrades, we've been focused on smoothing out some of the smaller pain points around us and getting more out of the core tech that we already owned. You know, that feels pretty good. We don't know what's gonna happen next with all of this, but I think what we've cobbled together here is going to be a little better at adapting and evolving to future challenges. What have been some of your tech hurdles over the last 2 years? Where have you splurged a little bit? You know, go out, treat yourself. But where have you also cut back and maybe saved some cash? Or instead of some of the hardware that I've been talking about, maybe it was some software or services that made life during a pandemic just a little bit nicer. Drop us some comments down below. I think it's kind of quaint, you know, looking back on the videos I produced early into the pandemic, but we're still looking at a landscape where sharing good information can help people out. As we get a handle on one aspect of this, we're confronted with challenges we didn't see coming. And keep an eye on this YouTube channel, and then also check out the reviews.org website. We've got some articles coming out that I think are going to be really interesting as we kind of look back on the last year and what we're looking forward to in 2022. As always, thanks so much for watching, for sharing these videos, subscribing to the channel. For reviews.org, I'm Juan Carlos Bagnell, aka Some Gadget Guy, and I'll catch you all on the next video.